All right, we're out here with Rachelle today. How old are you, Rachelle?
26.
26.
I actually just turned 26 last month.
Just turned 26. What's your current situation? Are you homeless?
Well, now I am, but I chose to be out here.
Okay.
I was living in Ferry, but I got evicted over some petty stuff. Over a dude I was seeing, and the guy blamed all his problems on me, and it got me evicted. So I don't have to be out here, but I choose to be out here.
Are you from Wheeling?
Yeah, I was born and raised here. I just moved back here actually a year ago, like 2 weeks ago, I think it was. But when I was a little kid, I cried every time I came to Wheeling because I already knew what this town was about.
Really?
Yeah, and you could see it every time you go by. Like, I was pregnant with my son. Before I had my son in 2019, I was pregnant. And my son's dad booked a hotel down here, and when he didn't know where it was or anything like that. But when he pulled in there, I broke down and I said, I'm not staying here. I cried and cried and cried, and he already paid for it because I knew what was happening, even though I didn't be around this area as much. I always was in Moundsville or when my mom moved to Clarington, Ohio.
All right.
No, you're good.
That sucks. Do you use any substances?
Uh-huh.
What do you use?
I use meth and I smoke weed, but I choose weed. I've been off and on. I don't have an addictive personality. I use it for my depression. Not gonna lie. Everyone says different, and you know what I mean, has their different opinions.
Right.
But the meth, it's really honestly a depression, because if I don't smoke, which I can go days and days without smoking, but I get in my feelings and I get in my mind. Back in February, when I relapsed after I got back, and I moved to the hotel because I got kicked out of the coalition because they're racist here. They don't like black people. Some black dude walked into my house. He didn't leave. It got me kicked out. Well, I started staying. John Moses paid for me and my kids, and I just had my daughter at the time, and paid for me and my kids to stay at the Knights Inn. Then I was going through it, just stressed. I've been a single mom since 2019. I've done everything on my own. I don't ask anybody for help. I'm independent, really independent person. And some stuff happened, and somebody made a false report and got my kids taken back in February. My mom came and got them for a little bit, and then she took them to the magistrate when I went to jail for I was in jail for 2.5 hours. And I get out, try to call my mom and tell her, hey, I'm out. I need to bring in my kids. Well, to come to it that my mom didn't have my kids no more, that she gave them up to the magistrate here because, one, they are biracial. My daughter is fully black and my son is mixed, and that she didn't know how she would do it or what she was going to do with them, with me being in jail.
What did you go to jail for?
First, they made a false report. Someone called in and said suspicious drug activity, and that there was people up there waving guns. When the cops came to my door on February 17th at 9 o'clock, pounded on my door, I was asleep with my kids in the bed. I opened the door to four cops with their guns drawn at me, asked me if anybody else was in there. There was nobody else in there but me and my kids. They were all sleeping. And they asked if they can come in and search, and I let them. There was nothing found. They found my weed pipe. That was the only thing. I don't inject. I can't, I don't judge anybody, but everybody has different morals on the drugs. Everybody's has a different effect. Now people are letting it take over them, where they're doing so much of it, where they're just letting their mind go. They're not worried about anything else. They just want to go get high. But now, with the people that do that, that's the people I can't stand to be around.
Right.
Because it just causes more, and it's sad to see these people like that. Even though I use, but I don't use like that. You know what I'm saying? I sleep every night. I mean, there is some nights I just do my thing and I zone. You know what I mean? And get my own little world, but I sleep every night. I don't let myself go past 3 or 4 days if I like go enjoy myself. But other than that, people don't understand how I make stuff last and how I keep it going. Even was able to still take care of my kids. When I didn't do something for somebody, they use my kids against me. Like, I never smoked in front of my kids. That's a no-no. During the day, if my kids are up, like my son, he'll have me on the go until the time he wakes up, till the time he goes to bed. And I don't have a break, you know what I mean? So all these people are rushing me, hey, you want to come do this? You want to come hit this? You want to, hey, come here. No, can't you see I'm taking care of my kids? My kids always come first, no matter what. And they take my pride and joy away. Like, it's a heartbreaking because my kids are the only thing I have, and they're the only thing that I have. My mom and dad, everybody. I don't talk to nobody. They don't associate with me, and it's not because I don't know. My mom just got effed up in the head and got my dad against me, and I was beat with beer bottles and shit and raped when I was little. And my dad now, that's what hurts me more too, is because she turned him against me, manipulated his mind where he can't talk to me or my mom's gonna leave him.
Wow.
When I worked the pipeline, I did everything for him, and now it's like he's gone just like my kids. And this county is the worst to get your kids taken because they'll make up lies. Like the whole thing I'm going through right now, it's all lies. My mom never found 2 crack pipes upon arrival. You know what I mean? Like, it's crooked here. This county is crooked, and nobody will be able to get clean or stay straight unless they move out of this county. I'm telling you.
So have you been through the social services around here and tried to get back off of the street and get back into a house?
Right now, like, well, me and my twin brother just reconnected too. Well, he's going through not the kind of stuff I'm going through, but similar, you know what I mean? But he lives in Moundsville, and he feels bad for me because he knows how it is. Him and my mom, like, we don't get along. My mom and dad favors my brother and his kid, and me and my twin brother, did everything for my parents. And
when you were growing up, do you have both? I mean, were both of your parents around?
My real dad raped us and beat us with beer bottles when we were little. So my dad that I have now that I didn't know wasn't my real dad until I was like 11. He adopted us, and he's been, you know what I mean, he's always been there. That's why me and him have a connection, because I'm his only girl, and he doesn't let nothing happen to me, like do anything for me. But with my mom, like that, when my mom's brother committed suicide, my mom got really bad on alcohol, and she turned her ways a lot.
Damn.
And me and my mom were tight. I miss our friendship we had.
Yeah.
But like, not to favor, you know what I mean? Like,
how long ago did it happen that you guys kind of broke up?
I was in Alabama. It happened in Alabama. Like, when I had my son in 2019, I knew my dad was planning on, like, you know what I mean, coming down there for the birth and stuff, but he couldn't get my mom to, you know what I mean? But they showed up. My mom and dad showed up 15 minutes before, I guess chills, 15 minutes before my son was born. Showed up in Alabama. They did a round trip. They come see me and Rylan, which is my son. He's 3 now. Came and seen us, and then turned around and went right back because they had to work the next day.
So, is there anybody else in your? I mean,
Nope.
You're it.
Well, I have brothers. I
Yeah.
have brothers. I'm the only girl I don't talk to. My dad that I have now, he's from California, so his family's from down there. And when my grandmother, his mom, passed away, which I took care of her when I was 14, I worked 2 jobs, did sports and everything, and took care of my grandmother. And when she got really sick, I couldn't do it no more. It was stressful for me, and that's actually when I started going in I went in some deep stages where.
How long have you been addicted to drugs?
Since my grandma died in 14, since like 2011, pills was my first drug of choice.
Yeah.
But I despise it. I can't even think about it, because I guess I was faded one day downstairs in my room, and my mom came down and wanted to put me in rehab at the age of 16.
At 16? How many times have you been in rehab?
I haven't been in rehab. I can put it down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just, if I don't do anything, I just get in my thoughts and I think about my kids. Because I could show you videos of my kids, and like, especially my daughter's been gone since she's been 4 months old. So, and she just turned 1 in September, so I haven't been able to see them, and they mess around with my visits down here, and it's no reason fighting with them. I've done everything they wanted me to do and everything. They want me to go another 6 months. I actually got court November 7th for them coming up, actually.
If you
my kids have all, like, no matter what, my kids always came first. I never let them go without. They always.
If you could get them back, are you in a position where you could, like, get a place to live and
yeah, I'm
get
getting
a
them
job?
back. Like, I'm getting them back. This county wants future reference for anybody. All this county wants is you to give up. They want to pressure you where, like, you don't know what to do no more, and they want you to just, hey, give up so they can get your rights. I ain't doing that. I'll fight to the end for my kids. And actually, the third time I ever visited them, I just found out actually who had them and everything, like almost a month and a half ago. No one told me anything. They don't communicate or nothing. They make lies. The place where I go see them in Necco, in Fairmont at the Necco place, they make up all kinds of lies. I never spoke to anybody there, where the last time I had court, they said they don't let you do nothing. Like, it has to go by what they say. Or they're, you know what I mean? Like, I stand up for myself. They just want me to bow down, you know what I mean? I'm not going to bow down, like. Right. And the dude I met down here when I first got down here in New York, his cousin Kiki actually, which relates, and I didn't know, they just took her kids too for nothing. And it's like they're taking away the kids that don't need to be taken from the people that, you know what I mean? It's a heartbreaking, because it's like they're just.
Where do you stay now? I mean, where do you sleep?
Right now, I'm up by OVMC on Suicide Hill.
In a
tent. I'm in a tent. It's like home to me. For real. I have it all homey. She loves it. It's more stressful. I'd rather be out here.
How do you survive? What do you do to get money for anything?
Listen, I don't even know how to put it. I don't do none of that. I come down here, I do what I gotta do, but then there's only a few couple people on the streets, friends, that will help.
Have you ever panhandled or?
No, I won't do none of that. I won't lay down with no one. Like, people have asked me, hey, I got this. They know cream's my drug of choice. So they're like, I got cream, I got money, I got this, and da-da-da-da. You come do this. Like, no, I'm not.
Good
you know what I mean? I have better morals for myself. My parents raised me with respect. I don't judge no one, but I don't know how they go out there and do it. I don't.
Right.
I don't know how they're selling their body, because you don't know that one person you go to. You don't know, like, hey, am I gonna make it out of there alive or not? Or are they gonna kill me? Like, I won't do that. It's just nasty to me, you know? Like.
How far did you get in school? Did you graduate high school?
I was the only one out of all 5 of my mom's kids that graduated. I graduated with my cosmetology license.
All right.
And then I don't know, I get in my feelings. I have a lot of depression. Marijuana they're judgmental against marijuana down here. Nobody wants to even smoke marijuana no more. They don't even want to, you know what I mean? You can't even find it really on the street. Dispensary, you can go to the dispensary, but dispensary marijuana is different than the street marijuana. You could tell a difference. And I can't smoke the minis or none of that, and it has to be indica. With my son, I was sick my whole entire pregnancy. But if I smoked weed, I was perfect. Yeah. But I didn't actually start to feel normal and not have to smoke weed until I was like 8.5 months. Didn't hurt my kid at all. Now my daughter, on the other hand, Audrey, I didn't find out I was pregnant with her until I was 6.5 months. I was smoking crack and I was smoking meth. I couldn't drink Dr. Pepper no more. Dr. Pepper was my drink, and when I couldn't drink that, I knew something was up. I went in, this is when I lived in Washington, PA. I went into the bathroom and took a pregnancy test and came back straight. I took 21 pregnancy tests for my daughter to, like, you know what I mean, actually realize, hey, because when I had my son, all my lines were faded. So I wasn't sure, and when I had my first appointment, when I went to my OB, I was already 6.5 months.
Wow.
And my daughter came out healthy as could be.
Now, do you have any relationship with, is it the same dad or are they different dads?
They're different dads.
Do you have a relationship with either one of the dads?
Not really. I mean, my son's dad, he left me for a crack whore that she sold her daughter for crack. He lets her rule over him, and he literally, my son's 3. My son don't really know his dad. He don't ever want to go to his dad. He'll cry. You know what I mean? He wants his mom, like, and him being up in Netco, I just can't do the visits no more because it breaks me down every time where he'll go, mommy's leaving me. What am I going to do? I don't want to go back to jail. I don't want to be in jail.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to stay strong for them, but like I said,
you have. I mean, you gotta.
Ohio County is.
You gotta. Don't blame it on the county. Don't blame it on other people.
It is the county.
Well, I
didn't do nothing wrong. Like, I didn't have no drug charges, no nothing.
Yeah, I understand
I just caught a charge
that,
for somebody. But
if you
no matter if I was on drugs or no nothing, my kids always had what they wanted.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the money to buy something, I didn't, you know what I mean? I went without.
Right.
So, and that's how I was, like I said, raised with respect and shit. My kids didn't deserve to be given up to the system. It's your care.
I mean, are they in CPS's custody or are they foster home?
They've been since February.
Are they in a foster home?
They're in a foster home in Fairmont. Well, past Morgantown.
Wow.
And I know it breaks my son down. Like I said, my son, this is a repeat for me. In Washington, this whole thing happened. Same thing that's happening down here, but my son's dad did it all to me because I wouldn't let my son go to Alabama for 2 weeks. Like, right. I had that vibe, like I was going to, and they bribed me $1,000 and stuff like that. No, but then I kept catching that vibe, and where he said he didn't have to bring him back in 2 weeks. It was the end. Him and his mom posted a picture on Facebook. They're taking a road trip. Not even when I seen that next day, I have 5 state police, Pennsylvania police knocking at my hotel door, taking my son for a safety emergency plan. And it happened down there, and my son's dad will admit it. Like, I hadn't made him PA, but he didn't like who I was with, and that they took care of him. My daughter's dad, I know she's missing out and everything, but he caught 2 bodies, and I'm gonna end it right there. Yeah. So he really didn't, you know what I mean? He knows that she's here. He knows that I have her, but he's also got 3 other daughters. But I know mine, I know he's having a fit, and he caught, with him catching 2 bodies, which he didn't do none of it. They're talking about a delivery cell that happened or whatever, but he had no part, because it was around the time my son got taken, and he was by my side the whole time. He didn't leave my side. He didn't go run the streets or make his, you know what I mean? So when they came, they got him for, they're racist up there. They got him because he wouldn't tell, and because of his past history, and the 2 bodies, they have him on video or something like that. So he has actually been in jail for a minute. I had my daughter. I moved back here. I went into labor the 28th of September. I went to the hospital, at Wheeling Hospital. I knew what the contractions was. I knew what I was having. Well, I went to Wheeling Hospital. I was taken to Wheeling Hospital. Wheeling Hospital sent me home in active labor because there was my place of facility that I was already being seen at. So they sent me home in pain. I was in pain, where I had to go back to Moundsville, where I was staying, and drive all the way to PA just to have my daughter. I had my daughter at 5:46 a.m. on September 29th by myself in the labor room, just me and my son. And nobody was there to hold my hand. I didn't have none of that.
Wow.
I did it all by myself, and that's what a lot of people out here, they see spark in me, like. And there's only one dude I will talk to down here, but they told on him, and he got his door kicked. and he's in jail, but he's the only one that I'll sit down and ride for because he's been there since I got my kids taken, and he, you know what I mean, tries to help and work through it with me because he knows the feeling he went through it as a little kid. Like, everyone sees the spark in me that I don't take nothing, I don't like liars, nothing. And the people out here think that they can just walk all over you and bully you until you had enough, then they won't do it. Like right now, for instance, they're bullying the shit out of me since he went to jail, and now that they think that he's in jail, that they can just bully me and do this. Since he's been in jail, I've been raped twice, drugged across the water where the waterfront is, drugged across that wall because I wouldn't lay down on the wall and cuddle. I'm not like that person. Like, you're not gonna tell me I have to do this and do that. You can't make me do sexual things with you that I don't have no intentions doing. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not one of those people, and that's what people mistake, because I have that heart and they can see that I don't take nothing. And just because what I do, it doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like, people don't take mental illness as a fact and as a thing, because people do go through that where it hurts them, you know what I mean? Where it might fuck them up, and you know what I mean? Excuse my language, but you know what I mean? It might mess them up in the head, like, very bad. My twin brother was on lean for a long time, and I didn't know that until a couple months ago, and that's why he gets mean and stuff. But he smokes mad weed, so, but he don't like this, and he's worried about me. He knows. And my daughter got to have surgery this month on her noise, so he knows that it hurts me not to have them, because everybody knows my kids are my world.
Right. Now, you said you have to go to court on the 7th. What's that about?
Pre-adjunction hearing.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Like, it's where they're going to go and testify. Like, I took a stock evaluation down here, and they tried to say that I'm not capable of taking care of my kids, that I take it out on my kids. I never took anything out on my kids.
Yeah.
Ever. The stock evaluation I took down here was way different than what I took in PA. Like,
now
they're looking at my past history. They're looking. Right. That's all they're doing. They're bringing up my past history. The past is the past. It's now, though. You know what I mean? I had a 2-bedroom house. I was paying $850 for a month in Martins Ferry. Got my kids brand new beds, everything. They still wanted to mess around and not give me my kids. And when the judge kept pushing the hearing back, the hearing was pushed back 7 times before I actually got to this hearing I'm about to go to now. My son's dad.
So do you have a place, if they deem it where you could get them back? Do you have, how are you going to?
I'm putting my brother's address. I'm going to live with my brother.
You can live with your brother?
Yes. I can live with my twin brother right now, because he just got a new place. I can live with him right now, but I choose to be out here. It's less drama, you know? Like, it really is. I was staying on the island, but but now in PA, I was in a hotel. I've always had a place, though, to lay my head. But in PA, I will say, when I left my son's dad because he cold-clocked me in the face, he hit me. I went through really, really bad domestic violence with him. And he cold-clocked me and kicked my son, and that was it. I couldn't do it. Always demanded money. He was an alcoholic, a bad alcoholic, where he got me, where he about killed me. Well, when I took off and left, I was in a hotel and in my car for almost 3 months he was 4.5 months at the time with my son, and I raised him in a hotel for almost a year, where he was perfect, loved it, got along with everybody, no one ever complained. And what I regret is raising him in a car, but somebody gave me some shit one time, and I don't remember driving back to the hotel where I was staying, and it really effed me up, where I woke up the next day, like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened?
Do you have an opportunity out here, or through Catholic Charities or the Street Moms or anything?
See, I just now started realizing about all that.
To get some therapy, to get to talk to somebody.
I won't talk to nobody because everybody judges.
See, that's not.
You know what I mean?
If you got some help.
I wish I had my mom. That's the thing.
I understand. So. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't realize how young I am too. They
Yeah.
think I'm older, but they can see in my eyes and my potential that
Yeah.
I've been through so much. I just keep it strong, like nothing has happened. You know what I mean? Like, I just keep it like, you know what I mean? I blow it off, but in all reality, it bothers me.
Yeah. Do you have a Facebook page? Because if somebody wants to reach out and try to help you,
I don't involve myself in anybody's crowd. Like, I'm not invited to someone. I'm not just gonna pop in. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I will give anybody the advice they want. Like, there was a girl, Danielle Rickner, for example, the girl you video.
yeah,
I got her off the streets one time when I found out that she was on the streets. She was actually in my house. She came with my twin brother to my house in Ferry. We smoked a blunt and everything, and she was explaining to me some issues that she was having. Well, I told her, I said, listen, you end up on these streets, don't come out here to Wheeling. Don't come on the Wheeling one, because the streets aren't the same as they used to be. And not even 2 weeks later, I see her out here on the streets, all down. She has 4 kids, and she has no cares. She'll tell you, all she's worried about is getting high and getting that vape.
yeah.
But I will admit, she is getting a lot better. But when I just got out of regional 2 months ago, my twin brother picked me up. I asked him if he had heard from her, and it was just weird. Me and my twin brother come to Catholic Charities, and there she is on the streets again. All gone. I'm just gonna be honest, straight honest. And even the Wheeling PD will tell you there are some crooked. They went up and sliced my tent yesterday without me knowing, just because the dude that used to stay up there, he's in jail, and he went to jail, and they thought all his stuff was in there, and they only took one belonging of what was in that tent, because I moved to a bigger tent. And after I left Catholic Charities yesterday afternoon, I went up there and they sliced my stuff. Wheeling PD did, but I'm telling you, it's nothing. Wheeling is not where you want to be. Like, all the new faces you see down here, Wheeling is not, because, look, the dog warning. The, gangs, biker clubs, gang clubs are taking over.
Really?
And the cops know about it, and there's nothing to do. They're kicking people's doors down that are not doing nothing. Like, they have their hustle, but they're not hurting a soul. Like, the person I told you that's in jail, I'm not going to say his name, but he got his door kicked down. Somebody wired up on him. Yeah, he got his hustle. He can't really have he could, but he can't really have a real job because he's a bad convict. Like, he's a felon.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? A lot of people, and he's black. They're racist down here, and it's not. Sorry, it's not okay. Like, because black people, Mexican, they're all the same people. Why treat black people different? Like, they're the same.
Right.
And before he got his door kicked down, his best friend played him good though, set him up for failure, and got him. But that Monday before I went down there, I was at Burger King. All these cops come flying around. They go. I'm like, oh wait, I gotta go. I was talking to somebody. I flew down to his house. I didn't know he was down there already, but they were trying to kick him out for condemned and say that he wasn't paying the dude that he got the house from rent and stuff like that. But he honestly was. But Joe Gato is out here going to abandoned houses, taking leases and re-signing them and not telling these people and set him up for failure. Boarded his whole house. They stole everything. They robbed him left and right. And this man done anything for anybody that would ask him. Like, his home was like a home base. Like, if you needed a shower and stuff, like, he gonna tell you, you know what I mean? He gonna let you. And this is actually his dog. I went and picked her up from the pound. Me and him was together for a long time, and then I just had to let it go because he does what he does with his girls, and it was too much on me, so I couldn't really do it. But he will tell you, ever since he's been in jail, I've been the one down for him. And I will talk to him because everybody that's in that position, they gotta have that person that's in jail. You know what I mean? If you're in jail, they need someone to talk to. Don't play around with them. But he's like me. He had a kind heart. He did anything for anybody. But they all robbed him, took everything he owns, and I'm the one that had to break it to him in the jailhouse. And it's not something I wanted to do.